Ryan Clark on ESPN's Get Up this morning. Are the Browns a Super Bowl contender currently?
No, listen, and we talked about the roster on Monday, and Dan mentioned that it was a 6-0 roster that was playing 3-3 football. Well, they're playing 3-3 football because they're a 3-3 football team. Right now, they're above 500 because you go out and you win this game against the Denver Broncos, but the way that this team plays defensively is too inconsistent. Also, when we watch this team, they do have to dominate in the way we saw them dominate against Minnesota, dominate against Chicago defensively, dominate against Denver in the first half. This offense and this defense, they aren't playing complementary football to the point where you believe in them when you're talking about teams like the Buffalo Bills, talking about teams like the Baltimore Ravens, the Los Angeles Chargers, and I think to an extent, the Kansas City Chiefs, because they still have Patrick Mahomes. The thing that happens to the Cleveland Browns is at some point, they're going to need a great equalizer, and that can be the run game, but we all know it has to come from under center, and the Cleveland Browns do not have that.
Well, Jeff Risdon, the thing I would say is at this point in Week 7, they haven't looked like a Super Bowl team. That's fair. I still think the pieces might be there on defense. I think that's kind of what the defense has to get an identity, for lack of a better term.
You know, I agreed with just about everything that Ryan said there until the very end of it, where he talked about the problems and put everything back on the quarterback plate. I do think that they are, like he said, they need to have a game where the offense and the defense both play really well at the same time, the complementary football that he talked about. They haven't really done that. It would be great to see that. And if they do that, they can compete with anybody. Doesn't mean that they'll win, but they'll certainly be competitive with the Chargers and the Bills and the Ravens, who I think are the three clear-cut teams. I would say that I would like another shot at the Chiefs, especially the Patrick Mahomes is throwing interceptions right now. I think that would be a little bit more of a fun matchup for the Browns. He's right, though, and I agree with you, Dave. The defense here is the key. If that defense can play the way they did in the first half last night and play the way that they did in Minnesota and against Chicago, that team can win multiple postseason games this year with the offense that they've got right now. But they haven't shown that they can do that enough. They're not consistent enough yet. The pieces are there, and we see at times where the pieces look really, really good together, but they still just don't all fit together all at the same time enough at the same time when the offense is playing well. That's the challenge for the rest of the season for Kevin Stefanski, is to get those pieces to all fit in the same puzzle at the same time. We'd love to see it because I think you and I would agree they do have as much talent as anybody in the AFC right now. They have the ability to beat anybody. They just have to play well enough on both sides of the ball at the same time to make it happen.
Yeah, there have been flashes, but again, it isn't prolonged enough, and you don't beat teams like the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Bills by playing 45 or 50 minutes.